Good afternoon, Mental Mastery Alliance blog. I wanted to do this one specifically for you and for this page. You guys, anyone that's sort of been watching or following along, has been reading my writing, has been really supportive. There's a lot of really good stuff. Super happy about it. When I do the video podcast, I'm just getting new to it. I'm getting used to it. So, you have to post on Instagram, television, you have to post on YouTube, you have to post kind of all over the place. And, you still have to have your communications, you still have to connect with your audience, and you still have to be yourself. So, what am I don't know, 8 or 9 in on the actual attempting to podcast. They've been telling me to podcast forever. It never panned out, really. There was other things I wanted to do. I really do love writing. I adore the blog. And I think that was the kickstart for this and growing from here. You have to find out the tech too. You have to figure out sort of what machinery works for you and what, where you're comfortable with the gear, how much you want to spend, what you want to do. I've seen a lot of people, and I've watched this for a long time, the videos and the podcast. And the reason I'm recording this one right now is because I wanted to share the idea of firing it off, doing it. Sam Crowley over at Every Day is Saturday, one of the greatest podcasts going, and one of the most entertaining men I've ever had the opportunity to work with. He always said he was always an advocate of jump first and build the plane on the way down. And a lot of people hold that sentiment as well. I never really jumped per se. Like I never, everybody's got a different variation of where they are in their life and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I fell. I think, to put it bluntly, like I fell a long time ago. I didn't jump. I didn't have the opportunity. I knew I wasn't going to be a 9-to-5er. I knew that wasn't part of the plan for me. So when you say no to that, you are now left with building every single possibility on the way down. The neat thing is where we think we're falling, where we think that there's a really long way down. It is a really long way down. So we think that if I jump now, if I fall now, from you just using this analogy, we have sort of an end game in mind. But the reality is there's no end to it. You just keep going. So even though I fell years ago, I'm still coming down. I mean, we're affiliated now with a numerous amount of really good quality people. Quitting to Achieve is a phenomenal path and program that's also just getting started with a multitude of coaches that are really doing something and really changing something. So I say all this just because I want anyone that's been following the Mental Mastery Alliance for the years that we've been around to understand that, there's no right way or wrong way to do anything. The best thing you can possibly do is just simply execute. So when you do that, and when you think about the mindset and the mentality behind it, you can fire it. You can just go. This sort of brings me into where I started with this. It's a picture that I've been talking about, and it's sort of come up a few times. I'll have it in the link for the blog here. But it's a horse tied to a plastic chair, a plastic lawn chair, right? And the caption just says, "Sometimes the thing that's holding you back is all in your head." And I used to see this, and I used to think, man, that's so true. That horse doesn't know any better and all that sort of stuff. But, the truth on that and sort of the information that I've pulled from that and where it's gone is pretty interesting, because I mean, that horse is standing there knowing that it's been trained. It's been trained to know that when it sees its reins and when it's tied to something, it's not going to go anywhere. So for the first grand time of the horse's life, it is tied to something and it can't move. It's pulled on the reins. It's been tied to something solid long enough to know that when that rein is up and tied to something, it's locked in. It's not going anywhere. But the reality is you only have to do that 10 times. And then are you going to live that way? Are you not going to pull your reins every single time you see them just to see sort of where you are and what you're attached to? I think the horse is a phenomenal analogy for where we are and what we do and the things that we stop ourselves from doing because we simply say we can't do it or we shouldn't do it or we've never done it before. So how do we do it now? I love it. And I honestly say, get out there and pull your reins, pull on everything, test everything, see what you can do, question everything that you're doing and everything that you've done because it really is up to you. It's always been up to you. And, they always say like, whatever, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And, nobody's going to help you with this, that, and the other thing. And that's all super, super true. So once we shake off the idea that somebody needs to help us or that there's, an outside source that's going to contribute to our achievement, we can really push past that. So again, just to sort of tie this one in and close the video off, there isn't anything you can't do. And that's something that we've been told our entire lives, I'm sure, by, various people. When we accept it, when we understand it, we realize that just because we've always done something some way doesn't mean that it's right and doesn't mean that we have to continue doing it that way. So if you want to excel and if you want to achieve, then you will. You just have to figure out how it's being done already and emulate those people or emulate that idea or embrace that mentality. There is nothing that can't be done. So get out there and do it. And if you want to blog, if you want to talk, if you want to connect, please do. Definitely shoot us an email, Adam at the Mental Mastery Alliance. I'm right there. I'll connect to virtually anyone. Well, actually, I won't even say virtually anyone. I will reply to everyone in time. Anyway, thanks for listening and thanks for being phenomenal. I love it. Talk to you soon.